next is EMatteson with MySQL and databases in the modern world.
So I'm Madison, and today I'll be talking to you guys about computational thinking and big data in the modern world. I want to talk a little bit about my internship. Now, my internship kind of started off in a bit of a rocky beginning, and there's a couple different reasons for this. I cared a lot about what my internship was, just the content of it, what I'm going to be doing. I thought that because it's such a big deal. Like, this experience is going to matter so much for like my resume later on, for whatever field I want to go into. Get it down perfect. Because if I go into the field into animation or coding, I want to have an internship on animation or coding. Obviously it's going to help me out to get. So I thought, I don't know where I want to go in the future. I'm unsure, and I got stuck there for a really long time. In Miss Carlson, we tried to narrow it down a bunch, but I still wasn't sure. Like 3 days left, I'm really under pressure, and I went with this nice lady named Melinda Willis, who works at a school, and I got to do a lot of work with databases and MySQL and stuff, which is it was really great. I didn't think I would enjoy it as much as I did, because you're sitting down. I went there for 9 hours a day, where I sat down and I watched her work, and this computer, but I had no idea what was happening. But she was really patient. She went through all of it. She wrote down notes and stuff for me, where she wrote commands, what it all does, and what the importance of it is. And I thought it was really interesting, something I never would have had known about before. Things about this though, IT related, and that was really interesting to me, and it was something that I wasn't sure about. And that's something I don't know anybody else that does. It's like seeing somebody work in an IT field from home was really, really different. I'm not sure how I feel about it right now. There are some pros and some cons. Like, be a little more flexible with her hours. She gets to be with her family more often. She's more comfortable at home, and I thought that was really interesting. So if I wanted to go into IT field, this is a potential for me, being able to work from home, which I thought was really interesting. So yeah, I thought that was a valuable experience. Helped me learn a lot with a lot of different things. Like, she's going to India to teach other employees how to do exactly what she taught me. So much knowledge from it. It was truly wonderful. Research paper though, which I got most of my inspiration, my research paper, at my internship, because I knew so little about MySQL. Even going for hours, I still knew very little about it. I was like, what is this? What is that? What's the purpose of this? Things that I thought was has to do with databases, because the company that fish for right here, they're a software company that takes big amounts of data. It's called big data, and they take that data from these huge companies like Burger King or McDonald's. Every time you go there and you order you take all that information that you submit, and then they put this in this huge warehouse of data. What do they do with this? That's exactly what this company does. They take this data, they get it and they work through it, and they sift through it. It's a better way to say it. To get really, really useful information for developers, people running. So I just have a little picture here that shows information doesn't have to be web customers, just anywhere, like McDonald's I'm talking about. That warehouse, where they'll then mine it, or they'll process through it, which is a lot of what I got to see when I was at my internship. The useful information that the companies will pay for to their managers and etc. The question I have is, what is data mining? Why is it relevant today? And what are some of the most impactful examples of it? So, a lot of really, really technical stuff that I'm not going to go over here about all of the different algorithms and programs and everything that are used and why they're relevant. Various tons of stuff that you got to do with it. It was really interesting. I had a lot more fun writing it than I thought I would, because you're writing but it went by really quick, and I thought it was really enjoyable. I gained a lot of info. Moving on to my community service, which I worked with Jason. This is more on the computational thinking side of things, because I'm really interested in say for education, I think it's actually really interesting. And I got to work with a lot of kids for this, but I found it really enjoyable, and I really liked it, surprisingly. I did have experience with this, where I got to go around to a couple different libraries, from the Orange Library, Orangeville Library, to this thing over here, which we worked on last year called Hour of Code, where we spend a lot more than an hour, a couple hours, working with kids on learning how to code and program. And this is a valuable skill that a lot of people can use in their future careers in programming and various things that are going to become much more relevant as time goes on because of how these days. So what you see here is you see me on a little whiteboard where I'm with the kids, where I have like a deck of cards, like programming, very, very basic programming steps. And then we play a game where you can draw a card, something that happen based off the programming, you get a certain score. And it was a fun little game that a lot of the kids got to play, on top of some of the already programs that are already out there, that we got to sit there and work with them. And it was a really great experience being able to teach all of these kids the various skills and knowledge that they might need to use later on in the IT career. Worked with this nice lady named Michelle Purcell. Like, she helped me pull a lot of the kids in. We didn't have the best people come in because it's a really small thing, a couple of libraries are taking a couple of hours of these people's time. She was really great at getting some of the younger kids interested in and walking in and working with this story. That. So for the legacy, I also worked on this with Jason. I've tried to establish, and we're currently still working on, very much still working on, our website where we're trying to work through programming and math. So what I'm trying to do with this, Jason, is set up a basic, very basic website where we teach Python. Very entry-level programming language that a lot of people can learn. Surprisingly very, very easy. Yeah, and it's for us because we're able to implement both like basic core algebra stuff. One of the first things you learn in the programming language is math operations. Some of these math operations, while also learning the programming, like knocks out two things with one thing. To establish this website into the middle school curriculum at a couple different schools around here. We've already talked to TIAC and Mr. Uris about this. We can make it a permanent thing that'll last a long time. They can go along with their math and have something a little more, a little different, where they can learn the basics of programming, being reinforced in these basic like pre-algebra and algebra skills. I threw in my SQL here because background, it's not just a simple website like we do for Blue Ridge, where we open a site and you have it all there. You have to first name, student ID, and login information, background databases, which ties into my internship. I got a lot of the stuff from this that I'll be using later on. She gave me this long sheet and info that I can use in here that are really great. So there's a lot going on in the background here that really helped me learn a lot. I don't know as much as like Jason does for a lot of his programming stuff. Really good learning. My future plans are to go to George Mason University. I've already been accepted. Some more of my certifications. I already have my Net Plus and my Security Plus by the end of this year, and my CSA Plus sometime in the future. So yeah, I'm going to go for a cybersecurity or computer science degree. My advice that I would give to like the rest of y'all who are dreading this, it's I won't lie, it's extremely stressful, especially when things don't go great. They'll get exactly what they want. People will be like, sure, you can come here. Some people, you get the no's of a lot of no's. So, you email them and they won't even say anything. You just gotta ignore it and just keep pushing through. Just persevere. It'll work out.
talking about like in the computer there's a bunch of like I picture a warehouse of people sitting around a bunch of like computers.
When I say warehouse, like physical warehouse, you're gonna take this is like, and when I say when I mean big data, I mean like big. There's like trillions of gigabits and gigabytes of useless almost data that they sift through for the important data, like or something, and they'll give you all the statistics on things. Like if I go to a website, that this many traffic people, this many places. Trying to make decisions on we need to advertise more in to do this. It's good for the executives who want to know what they're doing. For the physical warehouse, you have like where this is information is being stored. That I'll clear it up at all.
Yeah.
Okay, so MySQL is server query language. It's the programming language. Say that one more time. Language server query language. It's the database. It's all like PHP.
All right, Mike. First of all, good job. I'm gonna pretend like I can ask you questions that I will even understand in my questions. But when you're working in the library with the kids, you're drawing them in. Get that to be, I don't say get that to be interesting because it's not interesting. How did you get that how did you get that to be like compelling? Like you can't go in there and just start throwing ones and so how did you get them like compelled to like I want to be a programmer when I grow up? They don't need to be a programmer. It's just the basic, skills that you might need.
Like when I was talking about code thing, that's a whole program online. There's like tons of people all around the world who spend time developing things that are going to be interesting for kids. Want to play a game or something? It'll be like a game, like a basic Flash game, except it'll implement these core skills in it. On top of that, we did card games,